All right. So, how's the home assignment? Good. Pretty good. Um, there's some students ask me like, can I give some extension for the late assignment? Some assignments you're late for um, lab assignments or home assignments. You're just late. I can give it an extension or give you a second chance, okay? But it's come with a penalty and has the deadline, okay? For example, you are late for the lab assignment one, for example, okay? Um, if you need a scheduled time with me, okay? Give me the deadline, okay? When you can give me the that late assignment, okay? I can give you like um, 40 or 50% of that assignment, okay? To be fair for other students who turning the assignment on time, okay? So there's still has chance, okay? If you still want make up some point, okay? This is a chance you can make up, okay? Otherwise, you need to keep working on the assignments for the last few weeks, okay? Um, any questions so far? Any questions for me? Okay. All right. So this week we're gonna continue with this chapter about the loop. Okay. So in last week we talked about the while loop and the do while, right? So this week we will introduce a new loop technique which we call for loop. Okay. Okay. Think about um, think about a scenario about like you want to do something at a specific time. Okay. For example, um, you want to continually last time. Okay. You in a grocery store. Okay. You have 20 items you want to scan, right? If you already know, okay, we have 20 items. So basically you need to scan 20 times, right? Is that right? Okay, so this is the thing we called counted loop, okay? So initially, we gave the initialization, basically, for example, count. You just count from 0. Right? Then you compare with the condition. Okay? So condition would be 20. Right? So look at this example. Initialization, we want to count. Basically, we want to count 20 times. Right? So the first count, we need to set this 0, right? Correct? And the condition will be whether this count is lower than 20, right? Because we want to make sure they cannot count over 20 times, right? So this is a technique, this is a flow we want to talk about is for loop, okay? First, we give initial times and the condition you give maximum you want to count, okay? And as long as this condition return true, you will do this loop body repeatedly, okay? After that, you need update this initial variable, Okay, so same example for the grocery. You count once, then you go to the body, you scan it. Once you scan it, this count will update to 1. Right? Once it updates to 1, you compare this condition. So 1 is lower than 20, right? So you scan again. Once you scan again, the count will update to by 1, right? So basically, this will count to 19. Okay, so which means how many counts they have? 20 times. Right? So the condition is very important in for loop. Okay? The condition will determine how many iterations you will have in the loop. Okay? So let's see the syntax. The syntax for loop, okay? The keyword for, okay? And you have parentheses. In the parentheses, you have 3 parts in the field. First, initialization about that variable. Then you give a condition to limit how many times you want iterate. Okay? Then there's how to update this variable. Okay? So you can see there is 4 steps. First, initial. Second, you compare this condition. Then you go to loop body. Last, you need update. Okay? Take a look at the example. Okay? So this is example. We have initialization for the I. The I will be the 0. And second step, we compare the I with 25. Right? So if this is written true, you will directly go to the loop body. Okay? After you implement this loop body, you will go back to the step, loop update. Right? So just a guess, how many times we would have, how many iterations in this for loop? This code, how many iterations? Hunter? 25. Okay? Because this one will be 0 to 24. Because 25 return false, won't get into the iteration. So basically, from 0 to 24, okay, there's 25 times. Right? Make sense? Okay. In here is very important. Make sure this variable, okay, in the iteration, in the condition, and you need to make sure update these variables, okay? All right, so after we know that, can we convert the for loop into the while loop? The answer is yes, okay? As long as you follow the steps, okay? The step 1, you need initialization. Step 2, you need a condition which involve this variable I, right? After that, you need to make sure what is loop body. Once we completely implement this loop body, you need to update this variable, which you initialized. Okay, once you know that, it should be easy for you to, to replace the for loop to the while loop. Okay, so in the while loop, we have first step, initialization. Okay, so this should be the same. Okay, second, we have a loop has condition. This condition should be same as step 2. Okay, which means once it's true, we will go into the loop body. Okay, in the loop body, you should include the loop update. Okay, so this is run here, this is run here. Okay, so you can see the while loop will implement this code in by the order, okay, synchronously, right? Step by step, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Okay, if we compare with for loop, it's different. Okay, then we'll go step 1, step 2. At this point, we go into the loop body. And last step, we go back to this for loop. Right? Correct? Okay. So basically, the for loop, we separate the loop body, okay, from exactly this function with loop update. Okay, we make this function more clearly, right? In a loop, you don't have to consider about how to update the loop. Instead, we go to the for loop to help you to update this loop variable. Okay, so you can focus on what's the loop body you want to put in. Okay, what exactly you want to do. Right? Back to the example, the grocery store. A grocery store, in the while loop, okay, you need scan the item and you need to update the how many times you scan. Okay, but in the for loop, this body is very clear. Okay, we only scan. Okay, we only scan. So you can say scan and count. Basically, these are two different things, right? We separate them to the count, okay, to the for loop. That makes sense? Question? Good. Take a look at this question. Give me an answer. What's the answer? Yes. F. Any others? Yes. What? B? Or 6? E? Okay. Any others? Okay, let's do this together, all right? So this one, first you need to know, okay, what's the update? How they update the initial variable, okay, which is j, right? So first step, initial is j, right, is 0. Then we compare with 0. 0, 17, okay, this is true, right? Correct? Okay, so we do it once. And we update j plus 3, right? So j plus 3, 0 plus 3 is 3, right? So right now, okay, j is 3. Okay, you compare 3 less or equal to 17, true, false, true, right? So then we update 3 plus 3, 6. Okay, then we update, compare with condition. Okay, this is a 6 with 17. It's true, right? We update to 9. Then 9 compared with 17, true, right? And 12 compared with 17 is a return true. 15 compared with 17, true. We update to what? To 18. Right now, 18 compare with condition is a return true or false. False, right? Which means 18 never get into the iteration. So never get into the loop body, right? So only 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 can get into the loop body. So how many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 times get into the loop body. Okay, so the answer would be 6. Okay, take a look at this one. Try write down on the paper. It's easy. Yes. 8. I agree with 8. Okay. Any others? No? Everyone's 8? I give you more time. Okay. Okay, we do this together. Okay. So initial is 20, right? So 20 is larger than 5. So we get into the loop, right? Then we update. So what this mean? J minus equal to, what that for? Is equal to J minus 2. Okay? Right? So right now it's 20. 20 minus 2 be 18. Okay? So 18 compared with condition. Return true with minus 2, right? 16, true. 14, true. 12, true. 10, true. 8, 8, true. Okay? So 6, true. Great. So 4. So right now 4. Is that with 4 the great or equal to 5? False. Okay? So you just count from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So the answer will be 8. Okay? So only 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6. Okay, those value could be made into the loop body. Right? That makes sense? Guys? Good? Good? Good. Okay, there's many ways we can use the for loop, especially we're using the counting, we know exactly how many times we want to count. Okay, so the one example you can use for count down, right? So sometimes you go to the Times Square, they every year, the new year, they will count, right? So we can use this for loop to help you to count. Okay, so we know exactly how many times we want to count, right? For example, in this one, how many times? It's 10 to 0, right? Correct? So basically it's 11 times. And you will print out this one basically from 10 to 0. Okay? If I remove this equal, you will get from 10 to 1. Okay? Even though after this code, you can system dot print out Happy New Year, right? Just the count from 10 to 1 and the last second, Happy New Year, right? And in some case, you want to count up every 3, right? So the only thing you need to do, just update in here, right? Or you want to double, okay? So the result will be very, very relevant to this update. If you want to print this variable, which is J, right? Okay. Anyone can tell me what that's for? Hunter? Yes. Okay. So this code, basically what we want to do is we want to go over every letters in this word and determine whether they are the vowel or consonant. Okay, let's see this one, how that works. First, we got this word, okay? Then we have a loop. What's this loop doing? 0 word dot length. What's this method will be returned? What value will return? 8. Why is 8? Okay, so length basically will return, total how many characters there. Okay, so how many characters there? 7. Okay, so 7. All right, right now you know, okay, how many times they will go. If you know this update, every time you update by 1, okay, and 0 to what? To 7 or 0 to 6? How many iterations there? If we know here it will be 7, how many iterations? Seven, right? 7 times. So you don't have to look at this body. We can, based on this line, we can know how many times we will iterate this loop body, right? Because it's 0, 7, every time you update by 1. Okay, so this would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 7 return false. So 7 cannot make you into the loop. So basically, this we can know we will iterate 7 times. Okay? So basically, we will do this loop body for 7 times. Okay? After you know that, you should know this and this method mean. Okay? So for the I, so first iteration, I would be 0, right? Correct? So the chart at I, okay, it will return the letters, the letter which the index is 0. Okay, so what's the index? What's the letter on index 0? S. All right, so we count the index is 0 base, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so S is 0, right? What's this mean? The value of C, and C is S. we want to convert, okay, this character into a string. What's the difference? S, okay? The char, you only has single quotation, and you only can put one character there, okay? String, you can put one or many, okay? The reason we want to convert to the string, because string, okay, this contains the parameter only take string as input. Okay, this is the reason we want to change the char to the string. Okay, and so contain, we have the parameter, right? So this parameter have to be string. Okay, which means if you put character there, okay, the data type is different. Okay, if it's different, the system will return error. Okay, so here they just want to compare, okay, whether the S is containing this. No, we will try, okay, there are a consonant, okay, then we update the I, and here we'll return U, right? When we return U, we want to convert this U to the string. Then we check whether this U include in the valve. Okay, so U is included there, so U will print out, okay? So U is the valve. Okay, so the result, it will be every sentence, they can help you to determine every character, whether this is a constant, okay, consonant, or the vowel. Okay, so you can see here, once you know the iteration, okay, every iteration, the value is from 0 to 6. And this I, they will change from 0 to 6, right? And it can tell that we'll go over every index of the word, which is over there, okay? And in here, the word dot length, this one will dynamically change. Why? If I change a word, I just go to sub. So this word, this value will be changed to 3, right? If I have another word with just in, this will change to 2. And will dynamically to help you to check each letter. Okay, so this is a things we code, not hard code. Okay, so let's show me. I will show you what is hard code. If I change here, okay, to the 7. So basically, this for loop, you only can iterate 7 times and from 0 to 6, right? What if I change the word to the out? What happened? for this part of code. What happened? Price. You will get error. Why? Okay, because this I will go to the 0 to 6, right? But for the out, what's the range for the index? What's the range for the index out? Yes, Bryce? 0 to 2. Okay, so basically, once you go to a 3, this will tell you out of index. Okay, this will tell you there's nothing on the index 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, will return error. Okay, so this is the problem if you code in hard code. Okay, we're trying to make the code dynamically and smart. Obviously, this is not smart way, right? We put the very accurate, the concrete number there. Okay, which means this part of the method only for the word which the index is from 0 to 6. Right? You cannot be the lower than this one. You cannot be great than this one. Right? You cannot be the 7. You cannot be 0 to 1. Right? That's the reason if we're using one method here, word.length, this will dynamically change the size, okay, return the size of the word, which means this code can be used multiple times. You don't have to change. You can reuse them multiple times for one of the program or another program, right? If you're using a 7, if you have another code, okay, another word which is from 0 to 9, what you need to do? You need to create this part of code and change this one to the 10, right? So basically, you duplicate same body, but only one line is different, right? Make your code not very smart and not very clear to the developer. Okay, you think about it. Okay, you have a lot of words, maybe 10 characters, 11 characters, 12 characters. For that reason, you need to change here every time. Okay, change to 11, 12, 13, and duplicate this same code again and again, right? If you only change here, okay, everything you only do is once, and they will dynamically to help you change. Okay, make sense? Okay, know the difference between the hard code and dynamically code, right? All right. So there's other things you can do, okay? For example, this code, okay? They want to do is get the average, get the total grade, okay? How to do the total grade, which you need to do, how many grades you have. Then help you to do this part, okay? For the for loop is similar for the other loop. Okay, you can nest them into another loop. Okay, look at this example. Could you try to print out what the result would be? Can you generate the result? Try. Write down your paper. Step by step. What you get? Okay. That's the result you get. Okay, let's do this one together. Okay. So basically, what you need to do first, you need to know how many times for this loop, for the outer for loop. Okay, how many times? Can you tell? How many times? Five, right? From 1 to 5, right? So let's do this one. So right now, you know, okay, they will go through from 1 to 5. So the out for loop, okay? So first we update to 1, right? Once you go to 1, you get into the loop body, okay? So in it's 1, and 1 compare with 1. Is that true or false? True or false? True, right? So you will print the in, right? So what's the right now? What's the in? It's 1, right? So you will print out 1. Then you go back, okay? Update int. So update in to the 1, to the 2. Then you go back to the condition. So 2 is less or equal to 1? No, right? So this will tell you go to the next line. Okay, we will start with here. We start with here, right? So because this loop, basically we go to here. We're out of loop, okay? We're back to the out for loop. So back to for loop, the last step, we need update the out, right? What's the out? What's the current out value? What's the current out value? 1, right? So we need to update by 1, okay? So here's 1, right? We need to update to 2, okay? Once we go to 2, what do we need to do? We go to the loop body again, okay? And initialize this int to the 1 again. One, okay? And compare out and in. So the in is 1, the out is 2, right? Okay, that's true or false? True, right? So we will print out the in. So, which is 1, right? Then you update the in by 1. So here is 2. Then we go back to the condition right here. 2 is less or equal to 2? True, right? So you will print in, right? So right now the in is 2. So it's 1 and 2. Okay? Then you update by 1 in, right? So it's 3. So 3 less or equal to 2? False. Right? So we will go out this loop and print this one. Go to next line. So next line will start here. All right? After that, you go back to the loop, to the outer loop, right? So currently, what's the value for the out? 2, right? So 2, we need to update to the 3. And get into the loop because 3 is less than 5. So we need to go to the loop, go to int, the enter for loop, right? So right now the in is 1. 1 less or equal to 3. We need to reset to 1, right? So it's true, right? So you print out the 1 and update by 1, right? So it will be 2. And the 2 compare with out, which is 3. So 2 is less than 3, right? So it's a return true. We need to print out 2 as well. Okay? At this point, you need to update to 3. And 3 That's equal to 3. Yes, so we print out 3. Then we go back to update the in. Okay, it's which we go to the 4. Once you go to 4, 4 is less or equal to 3, false, which make you go out this loop and print to next line. Right? Then what's the current value for the out? 3. Good. So you need to update to 4. Okay? Then you have 1 at 4. Right? So it's from 1 to 4. 1 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Do the same steps. After that, you match this one until you get is 5. So you go out to the next line. Okay? Next line, you need to update the out to the 5. Okay? And right now, out is 5. So from 1 to 5, you need to print out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Make sense? Make sense? Yes? Yes? Yeah? Good. Okay, so most of the time, the nested loop is not easy to understand, okay? So you need to make sure how many times for the loops, for the outer loops, right? Based the outer loops, if you set here, which is the maximum based on the out variable, is not easy to understand. But if I change this out to 5, what the result would be? Under? Okay, so it's going to be 1 to 5. 5 times. Right? Correct? Because this one, just to tell you, you will print out 1 to 5, this index. Right? So it's from 1 to 5. And these outer loops, how many times? It's from 1 to 5. Basically 5 times. Okay, so you print out 1 to 5, 5 times. Right? So basically the outer 4 is give you how many times you want to execute this loop body. Okay? Make sense? Okay, let's do this question. Can you convert to the while loop? Try. Oh, I just want you create a while loop. Yeah, for loop, you change to the while loop. But the answer is yes. Where print 1 to 5. Okay. Okay, so this one, okay, we will do together. So first you need to know what's the first step, the initialization, right? Initialization is here, right? So you need to do the initialization out one, okay? The condition, the second step, okay, the while loop, you put the condition there, right? Third step, put the loop body right here, okay? Just the print, okay? First step, we update out, okay? Which you should include while loop body, right? Okay, that makes sense? Okay, change this one. Okay, we'll change back to the for loop. Okay, so for the for loop, we have three parts. Okay, you should fill. Okay, first is initialization. So you put there. Second is condition. So this is the condition. You go over there. Oh, here is a semicolon. Right? Make sure semicolon. Right? And update. Put there. Last step. Okay, we put the body there. Okay, so this is very important. You need to make sure you understand the sequence of the for loop. Okay, initialization, condition, loop body, then loop update. Right? So this is most important because for the while loop, you can understand because everything is by order to execute, right? But for the for loop, it's very different. You need to go first 1, 2, 3, then 4. Okay? Right? Any question? How about check this one? You try? Okay, so for this one, you should be very clear, okay? What is the loop body, okay? So first, the outer for loop, this is the outer for loop's body, right? Second is inner loop's body, okay? After you know that, it should be easy you convert to the while loop, right? So initialization, condition, okay? And this part will include in the outer for loop body, right? So here, so you can see the update here, okay, included. Then you need to do convert this loop to the while, right? Okay. All right. So if you check the Moodle, so Wednesday we will do the exam 2 review. Okay. Then next week we have exam 2. Okay. Basically, everyone should be in a class. Okay. Close book, close notes, and take your laptop with you. Okay. That's will do online, but you have to be in class. If you would be in quarantine or something, I have to receive the email from school. All right, so make sure be there. And this Wednesday I will do the review. Okay, question? Okay, good.